Having trouble in your love life? I have the answers. It's called Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. The biggest problem usually is people choose the wrong person. Not anymore. Find out your birthday secrets available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.
Soul Garden.
Hello, Ambassador Gemini. Welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host of the universe, Christopher Witecki. And due to viewer opinion, we are shifting things a bit. We're going to now put our commercials outside the show. There's one before and there'll be one in the middle, but there's a little bit of a change now, so no official sponsor. And come on down to soulgarden.me, your home away from home. This is where the soul can live behind the Facebook, right? We've got Saja writing for us right now and diving into the power of this year for Geminis. Incredible year for Geminis ahead. You have two choices to believe in yourself or not believe in yourself. But guess what? We've got a whole bunch of other Geminis in the garden who believe in you automatically. So if you don't have a little resonance with this, come on down, at least get a resonance so we can email you when shift hits the fan. Now, Geminis, like I just said, are about to change their life in big proportion. This month, the big change has been seeing yourself in a different context in the world. Perhaps you've always seen yourself as the young, or the third born, or the smart one, or the sharp one, or the blind one, or whatever. We always think of ourselves in certain labels and terms, and we don't realize that that pins us down basically in life if we're not careful. Well, in this last 3 weeks, hopefully you have seen a new quantum perspective of how you see yourself in the context of the world, or at least freed yourself from the old context. As we come back on Monday, it's time to test out this context. It's time to act on your new context. So this might mean you go hang out with the new, have lunch at the popular table in the cafeteria. This may mean that you go for something in life, or you go to be on a team, or you go to be a part of something you haven't been. This may mean that you take action and put your name out there in a new brand, or give yourself a new title, or go for a promotion or a social status change. Whatever it is you're like casting, go for it on Monday. Now, emotions will tie it into career. The moon in Pisces will pull your emotions to career no matter what it is you're going for out in society. And you might have a little speed bump we call Chiron, which means you might have to have a little healing, a little emotional healing, maybe from a failure in the past, or trying to go for it, not making it, or maybe just people at work not giving you the full credit. Now, your home planet Mercury between signs on Monday, so you're kind of half in, half out of the water. Your mind is in two places. It's literally shifting from career to your place in society on that time. And one last thing, this red line here, which is a square. Now, Venus in Gemini is ahead of this whole game, and it's working on your ego, a new personality that will be born. But right now, there are fears going on between this new personality and making the jump in your career. And the fear might just be the strength to do it. You're going to do a lot of work on your ego this year as Venus goes in and out. That's one of the things I talk about in the Act 2 videos, how much Venus retrograde time you get this year. Very interesting there. It has to do with changing how you receive. But on Monday, you're feeling it. It's time to act, and it's time to do it now, says Mars. Then Tuesday. Tuesday, we hold space. It's a day of holding space. There's no ruling planet. It's about the sun being the sun, which means it's about you walking the earth as this new context. So whatever your new labels are, walk the earth. How does it feel as you do your normal routine to be this new context? And really what you're doing is you're feeling out little cracks in your plan, or seeing it doesn't really feel authentic here, or maybe it does there, or maybe this is all about a new friendship that you've now drawn into your life. But the moon is still in Pisces, so no matter where you feel as far as context is concerned, emotions still are on career, it's still on career success, it's still on your legacy. But Mercury is clicking into gear now and catching up on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we are tested. We are tested to the old context thinking. Why? Well, the moon. The moon moves and crosses Mercury and Uranus, which is at the beginning of the lesson. That's where these planets are, back at the beginning. So you're emotionally brought to the beginning, tempted back to the old feelings of being the nerd or whatever the bad label was. So you get pulled back into those feelings of whatever they were, and that's the test. The test is to own up to what you want to feel like and act, push, go this way, don't go back or you won't collect $200. Now these squares, these different lines, the square here between Uranus and Pluto, as you step into this unlimited potential of innovation, stepping into defining your own reputation in the world, you have to break away from fears. What are your fears? Your fears are around not liking boundaries to change, not liking being uncomfortable. Sorry, Gemini, can't change the world unless you're uncomfortable for a couple of minutes, and that's what you're going to have to feel with this kind of square. This opposition is also amping you up. Now, Mars went direct last weekend, said to all Geminis, okay, let's move forward with transplanting your soul garden into a better garden. That means making your home life better, investing in your own emotional nurturing, really stepping up and taking care of yourself, which puts you into a place of autonomy. So on the one hand, you want to move forward with your self-nurturing. On the other, your intuition up here with Neptune is keeping your career on track. So this is a little bit of a tug of war between home and career, but it's a good tug of war. It keeps things in check. Then on Thursday, things get cloudy. That's because the sun moves into Taurus, and that is the 0 degree. I always say 0 means 0. That's a no man's land between two states of awareness. In your case, the social state of awareness and your psychic state of awareness. For the next 30 days, Geminis will be exploring their psychic state of awareness, which will be the premise of their most profound changes in 2012. Geminis are coming online to their higher selves if they do the soul work. Now, this started last summer but stopped. It continues now. It is represented by Jupiter, which is in this space. If you got your Act 2 videos from me, you found out that this Jupiter and your higher self connection is really the premise of all of your change. Do this correctly, build your faith in yourself, which is what this turns into. By connecting to your psychic self, you have to clear your weeds, you have to face your fears, you have to end subconscious self-sabotage, okay? But in the end, it gives you faith. And what faith gives you is the ability to go on when there's no evidence in the world that says otherwise. It's something you do actually want. Okay, so we are beginning this transition on this day. Things are getting cloudy, but you're still feeling social. Thursday's a weird day. You're aware, but you're underground, but you're aware inside out, but that's just the way the transition days do go. All right, Gemini, we do have a quick commercial. When I come back, I've got your Happy Friday dance and your weekend forecast after this. Hello, Ambassador Gemini, and welcome back. And it's now time for Friday. And it's going to be a good Friday, even though it might be kind of tough for the Geminis. It's for the better. What is it? It is a grand trine in Earth, which means we're going to see tangible results. But for Geminis, it's hitting you in intangible spots. But intangible leads to tangible. That's how reality works. It all really stems from the epicenter, which is now the sun. Now, this was Jupiter earlier in the year, which was kind of laying the railroad track for a greater faith in yourself, expanding your connection to your psychic state of awareness. By connecting to your psychic side, you can root out all the boogeyman and get rid of them, the false evidence appearing real, fears. You can face those fears, and you can get to your core inner faith. That's what the goal is here, which leads to everything. And what do I mean by everything? Well, on the one hand, as your inner faith grows, your security, your sense of home, groundedness, and foundation grows. The more grounded you feel, the more you can pull off on Earth. That's represented by Mars going direct in Virgo, which we talked about a little earlier. And your boundaries have to change. Now, this is the part that I think are really the ball and chain of Geminis. A lot of Gemini clients I have are afraid to change the boundaries, afraid to change the rules. This is the part where it's going to get pushed by you wanting to have faith and by you wanting to feel secure. Those will push the boundaries and push the Geminis in the pool, so to speak. Now, emotions, although you were going underground with a subconscious spiritual transit for the next 30 days, emotions are still pretty social on Friday. So if you want to go out, do it now. The rest of the weekend is going to be about spirit. Let's go there. Saturday is Light Cast Day. On Saturday, we have the most powerful day of the month to manifest our intentions because the moon catches up to our life. This is the moon catching up after a full cycle, comes back to the sun. Aha. Emotions and awareness come together. Wherever they're not together, there's a little bit of turbulence, and you have emotions meeting what your vision is, which is passion. So this is passion in a bottle. Now in this case, it can go either way for the Geminis. If you haven't done your soul work, this passion could be a huge amount of fear. Okay, but that fear means, well, however much fear you go through is how much you need to go through to get your faith in yourself. There's no such thing as fear. It's all created inside ourselves. But this passion is going to do one of two things: set the stage for the faith you want to have, or create enough fear for you to want to have it. Now, in most cases, this is like a bonus day where you feel faith out of nowhere and don't know why. That's most of the time. It catches you by surprise. The whole point is to set an intention for how you want to always feel. And it's always a good thing like Cast Day. So this does get it all in motion. On Saturday, you're holding space for the faith you want to have. On Sunday, it's Jupiter Fest, because the moon then moves off the sun and crosses Jupiter on a Jupiter-ruled day. Double dose of Jupiter. Jupiter is infinity. It is infinite possibility. And so after you've set this nice resonant tone of faith inside, now you run with that ball. Well, if I'm not afraid of the dark, then that means, and that means, and that means. And this is where weeds start to collapse inside of us, which are fears and all sorts of entanglements, which really have no sense in the outer world whatsoever, but they do trigger us to sabotage our manifestations when we have all this gook going outward. So it's about clearing out the gutters, and on Sunday it's about feeling what that might mean, a day when you have total faith in yourself. All right, Gemini, that's all I have for your 7-day forecast, but I will see you again in 7 more. Until then, live, love, be.